Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and welcome to my Saturday show, Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know Encouragement for Your Life is also my book series, and you can find those on Amazon.com, along with my other books. This week, my message is powerful. Our friend, you were born with the ability to change someone's life. Don't ever waste it. It's a good message. I hope you'll stay tuned. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started with today's show. I must admit, I love my theme for today. And friend, it's this: you were born with the ability to change someone's life. Don't ever waste it. As I prepare for a weekly radio show and podcast, many times I speak with a larger listening audience in mind. I fully understand it's a Saturday and you're busy with chores or errands or house cleaning or finishing up lunch with the family. But today, I want to speak about you and speak directly to you. As I work with presidents of corporations, sales teams, leaders, authors who are out selling their books, or wise folks who are working to better their speaking ability, I've been reminded once again that everyone I work with and those whose life they touch all have a similar calling. And that is, I believe that you and I were born with the ability to change someone's life. And so we should never waste it. So let's think about that for a minute. You were born with the ability to change someone's life. Don't ever waste it. I'm guessing that we all have rules in life that we learned from family and friends. And this past weekend, I was once again reminded of the great responsibility that's really placed on all of us who, by virtue of our life or job or vocation, touch the lives of others, which means pretty much all of you who are listening today. So to start, we've got to get a few things squared away. All right, let me just go through. I've got 3 big points. Number 1, you've got to understand the simple fact that you are important. Now, whether you think you are or not, it's not my issue today. The fact stands, you are, so just own up to it. Not only is it noteworthy to remember that you are important, it's also imperative that you understand my second rule: others are watching you. They watch your actions and reactions. They judge your inside life and your outside life. Now, they may do it quietly, but be aware that you and I are always being watched. And third, it's important to remember that how you feel about yourself is a reflection of how you treat others. So I'm going to take these in order and we'll have a quick discussion so we can understand the magnitude of the thought for today. And it's this: friends, you were born with the ability to change someone's life. Don't ever waste it. Imagine that someone's watching you. And for the sake of discussion, let's assume that someone is watching you because I believe they are. Just go with me here. If you don't value yourself and how you treat yourself, or how you take care of yourself, or how you love yourself, what are they to think about your self-worth? Or why life handed them their sorry lot in life? Or why they have the family or spouse or job they have, as if it was just a coincidence? Friend, you made choices in your life that have landed you where you are, with the exception of your birth. And your lot in life is ever changing if you choose for it to be. One of my favorite speakers, and I've said this many times, is Jim Rohn. And he's famous for saying this line: you can change anytime you want. You're not a tree. I don't know, I just think that's funny. All right, when you understand that you have value, real value, it changes the chemistry in your brain and should open a space in your heart to do that which you were born to do, called to do, directed to do. You have a chance and joy and duty to change someone else's life. So now the question is simply this: will you step up to the challenge? See, once you realize the simple fact that you're important, that you matter, you have purpose, it will change the way you view your opportunities, responsibilities, and your accountability to yourself and others. Friends, today believe that you are important and that you've been put on this earth for a reason. Your job's to go figure it out. All right, so now that we have your self-worth squared away, let me remind you that others are constantly watching you. Why, you might ask? Because a person of value is a magnet to those who need to see the truth. For those needing to believe in their self-worth. For those who have no guiding light to follow. For those who feel so lost in the world. Never forget that they are looking to you in hopes of learning, believing, and hoping to find their way to self-esteem and value. I heard someone once say, well, they shouldn't be watching me. To which I thought to myself, unfortunately, you are correct, my friend, since you are such a shallow, self-serving, selfish person. You're right. No one should waste a minute watching your egotistical actions. But unfortunately, they are. So now what are you going to do about it? It goes back to that thought of selfishness, that you can do what you want, when you want, how you want, with no thought of others. Hey, that's a great way to live your loser, self-centered life. And what's sad is that when kids or neighbors or co-workers see you act that way, you are teaching them the wrong way to be a person of value. You're right. We all wish they weren't watching you. But friend, our world has changed. If you've been around for more than 20 years, you've seen the rise of this egocentric generation that cares nothing about others and is always looking out for number one to the detriment of our society. So whether you like it or not, people are watching you. So please, for all things good, be aware that your actions, attitudes, and opinions are being watched, judged, and copied, and will be reflected by the mirror of your life for the good or bad in the lives of others. All right, so my point is simply this. For the good people out there, since you are important and since others are watching your every move, be aware that how you feel about yourself every single day is a 99% reflection of how you treat others. Someone who values their reputation, their character, and their life is not a person who will tear others down. Someone who understands that for every action there's a reaction will not intentionally cause harm to advance a self-serving agenda, not for fear of retribution, but for fear of causing damage when it need not be so. Someone who can look in the mirror and see the wonder of life and happiness is someone who will, by their actions, give hope to those who are struggling. And since you were born with the ability to change someone's life, it's imperative that you be aware and don't waste that opportunity. Since you were born with the ability to change someone's life, I am begging you, at least some of you, to step up to the task. Did you know starting today, you can be that person? Because if life has made you hard, mean, and angry, today you can begin to let down your guard and be more reasonable, calm, and caring. If in your opinion life has been unfair, starting today you can be fair to others. If your direction in life is causing you pain and heartache, today can be the day you turn your life around and ease the pain and walk away from your distress. Friend, there is no need to live a miserable existence. Why? Because how you feel about yourself is a reflection of how you treat others. And for some listening today, your treatment of yourself is so harsh and mean and angry that you have lost the person you once were. And the person you've become is not at all who you are, but a shell to cover up your insecurity, self-doubt, and fear. And since you're so unhappy with yourself, you're treating everyone around you the same way, with the same anger, frustration, and harshness that you hold for yourself. And you know what's fascinating to those of us who watch you do this? Is you think you're putting on a good show, but the anger that seethes underneath bubbles out for all to see. And frankly, we're surprised because we thought you had it all together. We were hoping you had it all together. And now we're begging you get it all together before it falls apart. Why? Because friend, you're too important to be so unhappy and not live in the light of your potential. Your success is essential because others are watching you to learn how to live their life. But most significant is you owe it to yourself to be who you were born to be, your best self. For you, your loved ones, and others. You were born with the ability to change your life. So now do it. And also remember, you were born with the ability to change someone else's life. Friend, don't waste it. Don't ever waste it. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after the break. Hi friends, Deb Sofield here. I'm a national speaker and an executive speech and presentations coach. I've been in the battlefield of politics and business for over 30 years. I know and understand how the game works. In today's marketplace, you don't have a choice. We're in the media age of Twitter, blogs, Facebook, and 24-hour news cycles. Either you move quickly and decisively to define your product, your company, or yourself, or others will define you. You can't afford to miss the mark because the public won't give you a second chance and the media is unforgiving, and YouTube will replay your remarks until you've been ground into dust. Whether it's crafting your message to protect you or your company, or putting you on camera to answer the questions that will resonate with reporters and the public, or preparing you for an interview, let me help you be successful. I'm Deb Sofield. Find me online at debsofield.com. That's debsofield.com. Welcome back, everybody. I came across the most fascinating letter to the world, and it's by a lady named Chelsea Fagan, and I found it years ago in something called Thought Catalog, and the headline is, "You Are Important." And I want to share this with you. I wish I could have met everyone you know. I wish I could have been there to hear everything everyone ever said to you. From the grandiose proclamations to the offhanded commentary. I wish I could have written it all down for later speculation. Saved it when somewhere I would have been able to reference whatever was needed. Then at least I would know who told you. I would know if it was one person or 100. A school bully from across the playground, or a past love who wanted to hurt you one last time before you went your separate ways. Because someone told you, convinced you even, and it seems not to have been so hard won that you are not important. You apologize for things which are not your fault, even for things which hurt no one. You will bump into a table and mutter that you are sorry to have hurt it. You will excuse yourself. If you happen to cross a stream of particularly rude passerbyers, you'll hold the door open for hours on end, never entering the building yourself. There's a part of you which seems embarrassed to take up space, as though you don't deserve the things you touch, the air you breathe, the chairs you sit on. You feel as though there is always a way to be more accommodating, less of an intrusion. But you're not intruding, you know. You never are. There's a way you move, a way you take up your space in this world, the space to which each of us is entitled. Never more. That makes me wish I could be more like you. I feel boisterous, even occasionally oppressive. You are always kind, always humble, always so deserving of being there. We are undeserving. It is we who are graced by your presence and your generosity. You feel as though you need to give more to this world to earn your keep, that you're being a kind person and deferring to others is somehow not enough, but that's ridiculous. It seems that you are just one of those rare, beautiful people who err a bit on the shy side, who assume the best in people, who always move just slightly to the side of the stage so as not to compete for the spotlight. But you should have the spotlight. It should be turned to you. Its glow should cradle your face, and there should be a round of eager applause for you being there when you step into a coffee shop or a party or a crowded commuter bus. I'm glad you're there. There are those among us who will be crippled by our delusions of importance. Those who tend to absorb the room as we walk in and push the furniture to the side so as to better accommodate our presence. But there are also those who feel, often from being unjustly led to believe, as so much at some point in their early life, that they have no importance. They feel that they are a burden of some kind and are willing to accept being treated as a bit of a relative drab set of decoration. You can see it in their eyes that they nearly flinch with apology at the end of a declarative statement. that their opinions are always tempered in the bit of empathetic softness. They're always doing on behalf of others, putting a million kinds of happiness before their own. But you are important. You're important in a way that many people will never acknowledge because they are too consumed with their own image in the mirror or their voice on a recording to notice that they share the world with people around them. But you're important because you're good, because you look at your surroundings with tenderness and understanding. You don't step on flowers when you walk. You allow a house pet to come to your hand instead of roughly insisting on your touch. You leave messages and wait for people to call you back at their convenience. You treat people with respect and so rarely ask it for yourself. But you should, because you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the woman you held the elevator for. And you matter to the friends you listened to while they unloaded the problems the world had put on them. You are more important than you will ever know. And never let anyone tell you that your economy of words is stinginess of character. You're overflowing with love, and we can see it from a mile away. Wow. I don't know about you, but that gets me. That is a great, great story from Chelsea Fagan. And I just wanted to share it with you because I think so many times, I think some of us have quiet friends, and then I have a very loud and boisterous personality. And as I'm getting older, I'm trying to let other people stand in the light and shine. And I want to applaud and be the loudest voice cheering for their success. But it's taken me a while to get here, I admit. But as I see the joy that literally lights up a face, I realize I've done the right thing. So many of you listening today, you're the good people. You're the ones who allow others to stand on the stage and shine. Maybe it's because we've already had our day in the sun. We know what it's like. It's all good. But wow, how exciting is it to see others thrive? That's what I want for you today. I want you to understand the value of not only just who you are, because friends, you're important. Everybody knows that. But you also help other people find their importance. And I got to say, sometimes that doesn't seem to happen. As I was working on my show today, I came across another couple articles I want to share. One is kind of the rules that so many of us live by that I think helps us help the next generation. Because I'm here to tell you, a lot of these young people tend to be lost. There's not really a lot of direction in their life. Or they hear things online that they think is the truth when any adult would know that it's not. Let me just give you some rules for life that I hope you will share with others or, incorporate it into your own life. Because friend, I'm here to remind you that you matter. Your voice matters, who you are matters, the work you do matters because you and I were born with the ability to change someone's life. We can't afford to waste it. And in thinking about that, I came across a really great article by Dr. Roger Reed. And the headline is Rules for Achieving Success and Finding Happiness Along the Way. So his first rule, be the boss of your life. Take charge of your life. Friend, if you're not making things happen, no one else is going to do it for you. Create a plan based on taking manageable daily steps. It's simple, oft-repeated advice, but the alternative, drifting through life without a destination or objective, frequently results in ordinary, even mediocre existence. Without a clear picture of the future you want to create, you'll typically end up staying in the same place, doing the same thing 5, 10, 20 years from now. Is that okay? Remember, you're the boss. You get to decide. Jim Rohn said, if you're waiting around for someone to turn you on, what happens if they never show up? Okay, I admit I love that guy. All right, number 2, realize there are no limits to what's possible. Your lot in life depended upon what you believe you deserve. Low self-esteem and self-defeating behavior will keep you mired in excuses and paralyzed with doubt and fear. Real achievers choose action over excuses. You don't need a lot of reframing or psychobabble to get you on the right side. Listen, couple things. Number 1, decide what you want. 2, visualize yourself accomplishing it. And 3, determine your first steps and then take it. I love the next point. There are no little people or little jobs. See, the minute you classify someone as beneath you or less important, you've now built a wall. One of the most important characteristics of the successful is being approachable. Regardless of rank or position, financial status, or birthright, we all have the same need to be acknowledged for what we do, recognized for who we are, and appreciated for both. You would do well to treat everyone with respect, because all of us deserve a chance to contribute something of value. His next point fits right in. While in public, act as if someone is watching, because they are. Your actions and behavior should always reflect the better you. True story from the author. A few years ago, I walked outside a restaurant to buy a newspaper. I noticed the machine had been left open, so I lifted the door and removed a paper, then deposited $2 in quarters. It was a Sunday edition, and I shut the machine. 45 minutes later, I was standing in line to pay the bill, and a stranger walked up, and he said, "If anyone wants a character reference, refer them to me. I'll tell them you're an honest man." Turns out the guy was a corporate attorney for a big firm, and after exchanging business cards, he became a friend and business reference. Bottom line, you never know who's watching. So let them, quote, catch you doing something right. And then the next point is valuable. Never compromise your integrity. While it's true, a lot of life falls in gray areas. In most cases, you and we clearly know what's right and wrong. Taking advantage of the less intelligent, inexperienced, or those desperate in circumstances is not only wrong, it often returns a similar reward. Probably the next point might be the most valuable, and that is you need to protect your personal and professional relationships. Listen, you may need an introduction, a recommendation, or maybe an insider's opinion of a business unfamiliar to you. Professional organizations are a great place to start, and don't think your networking contacts must be equal or superior in a professional level. He goes on to say, I know of an entrepreneur who found the greatest networking value came from the administrative assistants. Why? Because they were part of a very unique group that actually knew what was going on and could describe the company's current activities in detail. Realize this, my friend, the road to success is paved with failure. And because of that, you just need to learn from it. Determine what you could have done to produce a different outcome. See, the problem with failure is letting it stop you. There are opportunities everywhere, and they're much easier to recognize when you're ready. One of the most valuable outcomes from failure is being ready to succeed the second time. Let others know how you expect to be treated. Unfortunately, not everyone plays by the rules. There are plenty of arrogant and abusive people who will test your limits just to see what they can get away with. Don't let them. Politely explain, you will not tolerate attacks on your character or person. And if they persist, well, you've got a couple choices. You can take legal action, or you can just get away from them as far as possible. These kind of people have no place in your life. They rob you of rational objectivity, the capacity to enjoy the positive, enjoyable aspects of just being alive. And here's the final point, enjoy the ride. See, when successful people look back on struggles and sacrifices necessary to reach their goals, they often consider those experiences to be some of the best times of their life, especially when their efforts were balanced with gratitude and appreciation. Before I close out the show, let me just do a quick recap of this whole idea of what it means to encourage someone. According to the dictionary, when you encourage someone, you inspire with courage, spirit, or confidence, stimulated by assistance and approval. I think it's a great definition. Stacy Spear once said, people need to be encouraged. People need to be reminded of how wonderful they are. People need to be believed in, told that they're brave and smart and capable of accomplishing all their dreams, that they dream and more. And it's our job to remind each other of this. Julie Eckstein in Psychology Today wrote, what an amazing gift we can offer to others through encouragement. When we encourage, it's as though we actually infuse courage into another person. Encouragement can provide people with the strength to look ahead, move forward, and reach for the next goal. The whole emotional tone of a tough situation can be transformed through encouragement. Put another way, encouragement can help us do the things we might not ordinarily do. And let me leave you with this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Our chief wants in life is to find someone who will make us do what we can. Life is breathed into the can. We can do by the right person, with the right word, at the right moment, delivering an essential truth in a loving and gracious way. Encouragement breathes life into our soul. I'm Deb Sofield, and you've been listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Please know how much I appreciate you, and thank you for tuning in every Saturday at 12 noon. I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place, everybody. Have a good one.